This is Diana Sullivan in Austin, Texas. I want to show a little bit about using a simple flatbed Japanese knitting machine, a machine that's designed for home use. One of the most important things for a beginner to know is that the yarn needs to be wound properly. The yarn can come on a cone, or the yarn can be wound in a ball. Do not use a skein from the store or a ball like this, because the machine uses yarn at a furious rate, and this ball will roll all over the house, tangle around the legs, get caught, stop feeding, and you'll be very, very frustrated. You can, however, use a ball of yarn that was wound with a mechanical yarn winder, and the yarn will pull out of the center very, very easily. You don't want to wind it so tight that there takes any pulling at all to get it out. If the yarn has been stored any length of time, you should rewind it, because yarn seems to clump and be more difficult to get out after it's been sitting a while. I have some very, very basic tools to show that are the things you need the very first time you sit down to knit. You need a small, handy pair of scissors. You need a needle pusher. It looks like a little ruler, notched on one side to pick up every second needle. You need a small cast-on comb. This is just to hold the knitting down out of your way so that you can see what you're doing and to keep the knitting from curling up. You need one of the tools that comes with the machine that you'll need right away is a latch tool. The latch tool looks just like the needles in the machine. It's got a latch that opens and closes. And you need a transfer tool right away as you start to learn to knit. Make sure that you have threaded the machine following the manufacturer's directions. And then the very simplest cast-on of all is to select a few needles and knit with a completely open cast-on. This cast-on will unravel from the bottom. Now, the needles have a protruding butt in the back, and the protruding needle butt is how you can move them forward and back easily using the pusher. So you just push a few needles from A position to B position. Positions are marked on the edge of the machine bed, and they're also explained in the machine manual. So you just push a few needles to working position, and you put the yarn in the yarn feeder on the carriage. You open the feeder, put the yarn all the way back, close the feeder, hold it below the machine, and go across one row only. This puts yarn in every needle across. Again, this is an open cast-on. You can't really use this for anything that needs to have a finished edge. But we use it a lot in machine knitting because it's fast and easy, and we use a contrasting color of yarn as a stitch holder. The machine will knit an entire row of stitches every time I push it across. So you can see how very, very fast these knitting machines work.